Before I get into this video, I just want to give a short little summary of why I've been gone for as long as I've been gone for. To sum it up, eating disorder, GI stuff, a lot of bad mental things in the hospital for almost like 2 months. But I'm recovering. I'm doing better than I was before. I was at like 94 pounds, but now I'm in like the 120s, and that's doing good. I'm trying my best to continue forward with maintaining a nice balance with my muscle and my weight. So there's that. But this video is not about me, and I'm not going to make it about me. This video is about a friend, one of my bestest friends. This video is about Haley Costello, Lizzy.
Haley Elizabeth Lynn Costello was born on April 8th, 2007. I met her when we were in the 6th grade, somewhere around 2017 to 2018. Through the 7th grade, around 2018 and 19, we grew into the closest friends we had, or at the very least, she was the best friend that I had at the time. Throughout the years, all the way until 2024, we were the best of friends. Despite my very rough growing pains and often erratic behavior, she stayed with me until the end, which is something very few people have done for me, and in fact it currently makes her one of two to do so. She was one of the most reliable people I had ever met, and will no doubt always keep that position. It's very sad to say that such position, such dedication, such friendship are all retroactive. On New Year's Day this year, around 3 a.m., Liz took her own life. Although she didn't speak of it often, and she appeared to simply be busy in her own world, hours away from any of us, she was going through more than we could possibly know. She was a talented author and an even greater artist, and all of that remains is what she made, some being publicized and some not. What I'm trying to illustrate here is a picture of just how special of a person she was. She deserved more out of life than what she was given, and it strikes me, her peers, and her family very heavily that she couldn't make it out of her own mind, and that she'll never be recognized for her talent and how good of a person she was as a whole. This video is a small look into the mourning process of me and her friends. Esther and his mother made a commemorative board of her, which we all signed. Then me, Esther, and my ex Glenn then recorded short videos talking about how much she meant to us and what we wanted to say to her. We decided to publicize this not to bank off of any potential sympathy, but to give a raw look at what it looks like to mourn somebody you once loved. I hope that at least some people watching can relate, and that it might serve as catharsis watching people go through something similar as you. And if you're struggling with suicidal thoughts, that seeing how much those actions can affect people, and I hope that helps you stray away from it. If you want to share with us your stories or anecdotes or anything like that, it's welcome and highly encouraged. Really, this serves as a celebration of Liz's life, as the deeply personal funeral that I doubt she got, and as a way for others to see mourning up close. And although I myself am disillusioned with them, I provided resources for anybody here struggling with mental health, as I guess you never know what help they might bring. I hope this can give you catharsis, or at the very least, some good insight. And to Lizzy, I miss you every single day that I'm on this planet. And you are an extremely vital component in how and why I operate every day.
Okay. This memory has actually been in my head for a while now. One of my favorite memories is me, Lizzy, and Anthony in BC. I was streaming on Discord. I was streaming Catherine, and I was playing Babel. One of the stages. I don't remember which one it was, because it doesn't matter. But basically, I was getting like really close to beating it, but I was also like really close to dying, and I was just like making all of these very erotic sounds and stuff because I was so anxious and everything and like terrified for my life. And she's just like, what the fuck is going on? What is he doing? I've never heard him like this before. What the fuck is happening and all that shit? And then like when I actually beat it, I basically sounded like, I pleasured myself. I know that's not appropriate, but
I believe it was obelisk.
Obelisk.
I believe so.
Anthony off screen says that was probably obelisk. I think he's right. But yeah, that shit lives in my head. It lives in my head rent free. That shit, I always remember that shit being like one of my favorite moments with her. That shit was fucking hilarious. I really wish that I got to actually go out with her to more places and stuff, because really the only times that we ever actually hung out in person, it was either here in my room or it was like at her place and stuff. It still kind of saddens me because I had all these ideas. Well, not even me, the whole gang had all these ideas of like things to do in the future, whether it's like going to like concerts or amusement parks or Comic-Con events, shit like that. And now we just kind of, we can't really experience that with her anymore. It doesn't really feel right. It's not gonna be the same whenever we do something like that, because I still do want to go to events with my brothers eventually again someday. It's just still gonna feel like that tiny bit hollow because she's just not around. That's kind of how it's felt for a really long time now, since kind of us finding out about her passing. Just not even seeing her like texting in our Discord server anymore or anything like that, or seeing any of her cooking or any of her drawings or anything anymore. It just, that still kind of lingers with me to this day, and it just kind of fucking sucks. If Lizzy was here right now, what I'd say is fuck. What would I say? That's the fucked up thing. There's a lot of things that I wanted to say. I would tell her that I'm insanely proud of her, and for like making it as far as she has made it, with all the crap that she has been through, being as alone as she has been, even with having us as her supporters or brothers or friends, family to her basically. Even with all that, she was just so alone. I would say that I'm just really proud of her for getting through all those damn times of like suffering in silence, not saying much to us. I really wish that she did, but it must have been really hard. So I'm I'm very proud of you, Lizzy, and I just want to say that all the cooking that you did, all the sketches that you did, all the memories that we had, all the words that we shared, and everything, I'll forever miss that, and I will also forever love you.
All right. One memory I have with Lizzy is, well, I have a lot of them. And that's really because she was the only person to stick with me through all of the bullshit that I went through in my life. A lot of it being caused completely by myself. You know, to see someone going through frankly agonizing changes, you know, having to, you know, see someone evolve so much, deal with so much bullshit is probably pretty difficult, probably pretty cringe-inducing, I have to say. I remember, Esther fucking stole mine. I probably would have also said beating Obelisk, but remember I kicked the fuck out of her in the shins one time before school started, just because we were retarded like that. We fucking got home, she showed me her leg, she was like, dude, you gave me a fucking bruise, and I was like, oh, damn. But I feel like it's harder to pinpoint anything specific, because there was just a specific vibe going on there. You know, even if she was not as easily, she didn't as easily open up, or she wasn't as present, there was an overarching vibe that was there with her. And I wish I could have gone to see her up in the Panhandle. You know, I remember we all had this stupid idea where we would go to a fucking comic convention all dressed up as Organization 13, have us fucking dressed up in clothes and stuff. And I remember every day just thinking, I hope she's well, because, you know, she was always so busy, whether it be with school or dealing with her own problems, but we wanted to give her space. And we didn't find out until 4 months afterwards. Somebody else had to tell me. But moreover, I regret not getting my life together for her sake. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've dilly-dallied a lot. I've gone through a lot of filler episodes, unnecessary arcs, and I think every night I go to bed with the unending thought that it's all my fault. That if I locked in, if I didn't do some of the stupid things I did, we could have hung out, we could have done more shit, opened up, and she'd still be here. And, you know, if I had something to say, I'd have a lot of fucking things to say. But, well, you know, for one, could have taken Heavy's advice, dying is pretty gay. But, you know, I wish you got the recognition you deserved. Someone so incredibly talented in so many different areas, with so many different ideas, was more than deserving of love. Not only from the people around you that failed, but also, you know, the general public seeing what you could do. And overall, I would want to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I didn't nag more. I'm sorry that I couldn't get things together to come up there. You know, 3-hour drive be damned. You know, I waited and I procrastinated so many things in my life to where by the time I did everything, I had such little time to enjoy it. And even then, it was just straight up too late to do things with you. I'd also say I'm proud and shocked, you know, because, you know, fought till the end. I remember thinking, I even told one of her friends, she messaged me saying, do you think she's alive? Like a month before we found out. And I was like, if there's anyone that's not gonna kill themselves, it's her. And to see a person like that fall really shows the hardships that they went through. So I'd say I'm proud. I'd say I'm sorry. And I'd say you were the best and most consistent friend that I have ever had. And that me being literally alive right here is pretty largely in part to the fact that I don't want the people I love to feel the same pain that I am, and that Esther is, and that all of your other friends were. So if there's any positive, it's that.
This is a hard video to make, not because, sad and all, I don't know what to say. I guess a memory. I mean, we had history class together, we had science class together, we had English together, we had another class together, I can't remember. Math together, we had math together. But we didn't really talk until history class when we got into that new one. And we ran a project, and she was the drawer, and she was an amazing drawer. And one of the few things I actually admired about her, because it was amazing, and I was very proud in a weird way. I just regret not speaking to her one last time, simply because it would have been nice to have a conversation closer to when she died rather than a year before, if that makes sense. Simply because it's like she was fun to talk to, she had a great humor, etc. And also it's like, I pulled away for my own reasons, and I don't regret those reasons, but it's like, it still hurts, I guess. I guess I'm now speaking to Liz directly, even though she'll never see this, but God forbid. I just, honestly, I think the only thing I have left to say is just, I love you. Because I never got to say it when you were still alive. And that's my fault, my fault. Because, you weren't the type to say I love you, so it would have been on me, but I didn't, because, I didn't value it as much as I do now, but, my fault. But I do love you, Liz, and I hope you're at peace, because you deserve it, and you deserve the world. Okay, bye.
The following footage that's about to take place is footage of me talking to Lizzy one last time, getting everything that I could get out in this moment that I'm gonna be showing in a second. Fair warning, I was very emotionally distressed. I was in a very bad spot mentally when recording it. And so, yeah, after this footage is done, I'm going to show all the pictures that I have of Lizzy. I'm going to show off her drawings and whatnot, while one of her songs plays in the background, a song that she liked a lot, and I remember we used to reference it quite a bit together. So anyway, enjoy the next however long it is I talk for in this clip. The reason why I'm talking right now is because I feel like I didn't take the opportunity to think about what more I wanted to say when everybody was here. I've had a little more time to think about the things that I want to say, Um, and I gotta admit, right now I'm having a really hard time physically and mentally. I'm going through a lot. Lizzy, I just want to let you know that you meant everything to me. You meant so much to me. You meant so much more to me than I think you or anybody else could ever know. It sucks. It sucks so much. I've been going through so much medically and mentally for so long, and you've been a part of it, witnessing a lot of the journey that I've been on. And you were one of the biggest reasons why I decided to stick around for as long as I have. And I did everything that I could. So I did everything I could to help you mentally when I couldn't be there for you physically. I always appreciated that you always came to me whenever you wanted advice about things regarding health or just other things when it came to, like, you know, relationship stuff, friendship stuff, parent stuff, you know, a lot of those sorts of things. And I always did that for you. And it's just so sad. It's really sad that even with everything that I told you, I told you how much I loved you. And I told you that you know, you're right there. You're right there at the end of your journey. Just have to push through, and we'll all be able to see each other again. Things will be better. Nothing really ever got better. Even after so long, I still think about you every single day. Maybe that means there's something wrong with me. I don't know. Because a part of me just can't get over that you're gone. I just can't get over it still. I'm still fighting my battle every single damn day, and it sucks so much. And there are times where I ask myself, why am I still Why am I still going? Why am I still doing this? And it's because of my family. It's because of my friends. And it's because of you. Because I can't stand suffering through what I'm going through. But I just know that if you were here, it would just be a little bit better. Just knowing that you're still there by my side. And it could never be that way. No, it won't ever be like that again. It feels like such a waste. And I don't mean that offensively. It's a compliment. Because you were such a passionate person. You had so much passion and creativity inside your brain. You had a love for so many things. You loved music, you loved art, you loved stupid things like gadgets and whatnot, antiques. You loved old generation things. I remember the time when you showed us you had a typewriter, and you just had so much fun just typing dumb stuff on it. Little things like that I always loved about you. It was just so, I don't know, sporadic, but it's something that I really enjoyed. I know that you also really wanted to be in the Air Force. And I remember the time when you told me, well, I guess you told all of us about that you really wanted to do that. I was worried for you. I was worried about it because, it's not some easy thing to do and get into, I guess. And I was just kind of nervous for you, but after some time, I realized that you're a very smart person. You've taught yourself a lot of things. You never seemed afraid to ask for help. It's ironic that I'm saying that. But at some point, I accepted that. I accepted what you wanted, and I supported you. And I really mean that because I just wanted you to be happy. Because I know that every single damn day, whether you said it or not, I knew that you were struggling with something. I knew that you were struggling. Unfortunately, I didn't know how bad you were struggling. I could only go off of what you told me. On January 1st, everything seemed completely fine. You were just being yourself. I was just being myself. nothing was wrong. It seemed like I was excited to go to the Comic-Con with Anthony, with Alex, with my mom. You seemed like you were doing better. But maybe because of that sign, you were doing better. Maybe that was the sign that you weren't doing better. And maybe you didn't say anything because you just accepted a fate. Maybe you knew deep down that I would have done everything in my power to pull you out of that hole that you were in. And you didn't want it. You didn't want to hear it. I don't want to believe that, but a part of me does. But the Lizzy that I knew was so strong. You were so strong. You told me that I was strong too. For going through everything that I've been going through. And it's funny that I say that because here I am, still suffering every single day. I guess you couldn't wait anymore. And it fucking destroys me. Even though it was all that time ago, it still fucking destroys me. And it does because I really wanted to see you progress more in life. I wanted to see that happiness in you. That was one of the things that kept me going. And now I'm just hanging on by threads all the time. And I barely manage to hang on every day. But I always think about what I'd be doing to everybody else. I hope that you thought about it too. In your moments of darkness. Because every time I'm in that darkness, that's what runs through my head. Is it worth it? I care so much more about everybody else compared to myself. I cared so much more about you than myself. Even when I do my best to focus on myself, I focus on myself for the sake of others. Others being the people that mean the most to me. I guess that's why I'm still here. I can only imagine that in your moment of darkness, you didn't feel any of that care anymore. Maybe you thought you weren't enough. Maybe you thought that you didn't mean as much to us. But that couldn't be farther from the truth. If I knew you were dug as deep as you were in the hole that you were in, and you were face to face with me, I would have done everything in my damn power to make sure that you stay in this world. I would have told you how much you're worth. I would have taken more pictures with you. I never took any pictures at all with you. Now that I think about it. All I have are pictures with everybody else. And never you. And here I am saying that you were worth so much. And you were. And maybe I didn't express it good enough. Maybe I didn't say it enough because I was awkward and stupid or something. Maybe I didn't want to come off as weird. Maybe I didn't want to make the vibe so serious. Because we're all supposed to be dumb and funny and stupid in our little group, right? Never supposed to be serious. I regret it every day. I should have fucking talked to you more. I should have fucking talked to you more, and I didn't. I should have done so much fucking more, man, and I didn't. You were so far away. In the end. Towards the end of your life, you were just so far away. I couldn't go see you. Only way that I could see you was through words on a screen or through a fucking camera on a phone. Not once did I ever take any of those opportunities to ever fucking truly tell you how much you meant. With every fiber of my being. I always told you that I loved you. I always told you that, you're amazing and you're awesome and you have all this potential and whatnot. But I never really told you how much you really meant. Not the way that I have with Anthony, for example. The same way Anthony said he feels like part of it's his fault, that he should have done more, he should have worked harder for you. I can't help but feel that as well. I deal with medical issues all the time. All the damn time I deal with medical problems. GI stuff, mental stuff. And I try my best every single damn day, and it's so hard. Because it hurts so much. I'm in pain every day. physically and mentally, every day. Maybe back then I should have worked harder. The vent just turned on, I guess. I think I've been talking for too long now. At this rate, I could talk for hours, and I'm not going to do that. I'll see you guys.
What did